Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365 and another month is in the books, so let's go over what I picked up in Blu-ray 3D and 4K in June. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. You can also find me over Twitter and Instagram at Movie Guy 365. Okay, June is finished, so let's go over everything I picked up in June. Most of these during my shopping trips weekly. I do videos for that on Tuesday, but also stuff I picked up along the way. You know, maybe I was just out and about. There's a couple examples of that. You know, I hit a couple things at Big Lots, or, you know, picked up stuff at Amazon or BestBuy.com, stuff I can't get in stores. Just looking for catalog stuff and things to add to my collection that I used to have and just wanted to fill back in those gaps. So we're going to start out with Blu-ray, and the first one, and I've done, most of these that I've done reviews for are mostly the new stuff, you know, like, so I'll just make quick mentions of everything. But yeah, the first one I picked up was Gloria Bell. Enjoyable little flick starring Julianne Moore. Overall entertaining. I was entertained by it. I'm not sure it's something I would go back to very often. You know, maybe it's like, oh, I feel it's a Julianne Moore night. You know, let's go watch Gloria Bell kind of thing. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fine. Cool looking slipcover. Another movie, The Kid. Picked this one up with, of course, you know, Chris Pratt starring in that, but Ethan Hawke and Vincent D'Onofrio directing and starring. Interesting alternative take on Billy the Kid. It was fine. It was fine. Nothing extraordinary, but if you like Westerns, I think you'll be pleased with this one. Another one, new release this month would be Captive State. This one I felt had a lot of potential. Story was a little bit all over the place narratively. It starts out with, you know, one character, and then it just inexplicably goes to other characters, but they don't really give you a whole lot of their background. I will say though, I really enjoyed the ending to this one. And I wouldn't mind a 4K edition, honestly. I would watch this again in 4K. But it's just not overly compelling. Good idea. It's just, I think, just needed a little bit of work on that middle act. Another one I picked up. Saw this one in theaters. I actually really enjoyed it. But it's just one of those, I just couldn't justify picking it up on release day. As much as I like to do that and be able to do reviews timely for the channel, sometimes you just kind of have to say no. But this one, about a week or two later, did show up really cheap at Target. I couldn't resist. Isn't It Romantic with Rebel Wilson. I liked it. It was fine. The director's previous efforts include Final Girls. If you haven't seen that one, definitely check that out. It's pretty entertaining film. Also, a staple of my childhood. Really enjoyed this one. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Really dig this one. Honestly, it just brings me back every time I watch it. It's just, you know, at a certain point when I was young, I saw this for the first time and I just really enjoyed it, and I had to get it on Blu-ray. Absolutely worth picking up. This was a catalog release. Now, technically I could have waited. Maybe they would do a 4K, but you know, it's just, you could be waiting years. And it was a good price. You don't pay too much for it, like $5 or something. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt. Honestly, like, I like Angelina Jolie. I'm just, you know, I just never really, I'm not all that gravitated towards her, but I think she looks amazing in this one, honestly. She really does. But yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, hopefully one day we'll get a 4K of this one. Another film I really am a big fan of is Kelly's Heroes. Just, you know, one of my favorite Eastwoods. I know he's so known for like Dirty Harry and the Westerns and things, but I think he really, this was basically kind of like a Dirty Dozen type or a Seven Samurai. A lot of talent in this one. I mean, you know, just Donald Sutherland and Rickles is in this, and it's just a good, it's a heist war movie. And if you haven't checked it out, you know, see Clint Eastwood in something that you're not used to seeing him in. And I love for some reason, I just love the opening of this film. I just absolutely love it. Let's see. Also, this one I picked up, I was just walking around Big Lots. I never thought, this has been on my wish list for a while. I just saw this movie for the first time recently, actually. And saw for, I think they had it for $3. And I was like, yeah, sold, easy. Take Me Home Tonight, Topher Grace. You know, just awesome. I had a good time. I love, you know, the comedies of, you know, the teenage comedies of that generation kind of thing. It's just, it was fun, you know, everything from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. If it's a teenage comedy and it's done well, Love it. It's just, yeah, I think this is really a cool looking flick. Also, another one I just wanted to get, I was listening to a friend's podcast recently, and they reminded me of this movie and how much I enjoyed it. And this was one of those that I would love to see upgraded because it desperately needs one. But I wanted to get it. It was $5. And I'm glad I did because I haven't seen this in years and I wanted to revisit. And it's one of the best for both actors. Crimson Tide. I would love a 4K edition of this yesterday. It's good stuff. Really good stuff. Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman are at their best. James Gandolfini's also in this, still during that era when he's playing like the swarmy evil guy in most films. And he's kind of that way, but not real. I know it's the thing, but I love Crimson Tide. I would love to see an absolute remaster of this one. Another one got on the cheap. This one is a blind buy. You know, just it looked interesting, you know. So I wanted to check it out, and I've heard good things about it. And apparently they're making a sequel. That's interesting timing. Emma Stone and Easy A. Gonna be checking this out shortly, so I can't give you my overall impressions, but hey, it's only a couple bucks, so why not, you know? And also, just got this one. This just made the cutoff of the month. This is a Disney Movie Club exclusive. I am going to be doing a review for this weekend, so if you're interested, check that out. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. As I mentioned, it's a Disney Movie Club exclusive. The previous one I picked up was Three Musketeers. I absolutely love that movie. And this is a staple of my childhood. You know, growing up near Disneyland, of course, you're near like the Nautilus out there. And every time I would see this movie on cable or, you know, just on VHS, I think it was a VHS, I just wanted to go ride that ride. And even though the Nautilus isn't itself out there anymore, just recently we were out there in October, got to do the submarines. It sort of brought me back a bit, you know, minus the Nemo aspects of it. But yeah, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Be doing a review for that, so look for that one shortly. Another one is, I have not seen this movie. I'm going to admit it to you now. I know, you know, stop typing in the comments. I already know. Lost in Translation. I just never got to it. It's just one of those movies I never got to. I will be watching this shortly, probably within a week. Just got this, once again, this just made the cutoff of the month, so I'm throwing it in my pile here. But come on, I mean, it's Bill Murray, I know, and you know, Scarlett Johansson. I've heard so many good things about this one. It's just, you know, every once in a while a movie falls through the cracks, and this is just one of those. But once again, when I saw The Dead Don't Die recently, I was like, you know what? It's time to get back into some obscure Murray stuff. So absolutely, Lost in Translation was my first go-to. Good price. Hopefully it's good. And then, all right, so this one I was gonna do a review for. And then when I found out what I found out about the release, I tried to cancel it. And I don't have the previous version anymore. I did, but I sold it some years ago. And then found out it's basically the same version with just a few extras. This was not going to be necessarily something I wanted to buy until it was a better edition. And then the director, David Lynch, comes out and says, I didn't approve of this one, and it's not the restoration. As I said, this one, I wanted to get it, but I wanted to wait for a better edition, and I thought we were getting one, and then it turns out it's kind of the same. I have it anyway. Lost Highway. Love this film. I do. It is one of the strangest movies I've ever seen, but I really wanted a better edition. I'm not going to do a review for this one until we get a better copy, but, you know, Lost Highway, if you don't own it, I guess wait, or, you know, I don't know if David Lynch is ever going to get to that better edition. I guess this is the best we have now. So, you know, unfortunately, like I said, I couldn't cancel at that time, so Lost Highway. All right, so normally I would do a separate section for 3D, but I only got a couple this month, so I'm going to throw them in the standard Blu-ray thing, and then I'll jump into 4K. So first up is How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World Import Edition. Really dig these movies. I absolutely love them. I think they're amazing. I have all of them in 4K and 3D. Had to import this one, unfortunately. You know, Universal's kind of done with the US as far as importing goes. But hey, it came with a slipcover. I'm happy with that. But yeah, absolutely love this movie. This one, That's right. These two were from Five Below. I'm sure if you're in the know, you know that they just started putting out a few quality-ish Blu-rays, you know, for their deal. But hey, you know, Hercules and G.I. Joe Retaliation got these both at Big Lots, $5, or I'm sorry, not Big Lots, at Five Below, $5. And, you know, I'm a 3D fan. I try to support the format, even when they make it very difficult for me to. And I like both movies. I actually was very surprised by Hercules, how much I enjoyed that one. I saw that one for the first time about a year ago, and I'm like, yeah, it's a decent film. It's actually not too bad. But I haven't seen it in 3D yet, so I'm kind of excited. G.I. Joe Retaliation. One of my guilty pleasures is G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, because, you know, the Baroness for me, it was one of my childhood crushes. And I thought Miller played her really, really good. And I was very disappointed she wasn't in this. This is not the better of the two G.I. Joe films, unfortunately. But, you know, until they release them in 4K in the States, I know they did release them in the UK, and I'll probably import them at some point. This is the best I'm going to get. G.I. Joe Retaliation in 3D, not too bad. All right, and then the last movie I got, good deal for it this month, and I'm looking for the 4K next. Great Gatsby. I've seen this film plenty of times, never in 3D or the 4K, so I'm excited to go back to this one because I am a big fan of the movie, and of course, you know, the source material. But I'm kind of interested. Honestly, I got this one out of a curiosity than anything, because I'm not really sure how the 3D is going to stack up, but apparently it's good. So, all right, that's it for the Blu-rays and the 3Ds. So next up, we're going to do 4K. All right, so next up, let's go to the 4K pickups for the month. Pretty successful, a lot of it new stuff. I'm not even sure. Yeah, there's a couple catalog titles in there, but I think they were new release catalogs. I don't think I really got a whole lot just that's been out for a while on the 4K format. So first one I got was Hannibal. Got this for a steal. Best Buy had it on release week for like $28.99. And I think about a week later or 2 weeks later, it went down like almost $12, $13. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. I have a feeling this is gonna be one of those hard to find titles in the future. It probably is right now. But yeah, if you haven't had a chance to get a hold of Hannibal yet and you are thinking about it, do it sooner rather than later. Also, a classic. I was so happy to hear that it was coming out on the format. I love this movie and it looks beautiful on disc. You know, and it's funny because occasionally I'll get a comment saying that, oh, this is a movie that didn't need to be made into 4K. Well, all right, first I'm going to counter that. What needs to be actually put on 4K? Nothing, technically. But I think catalog titles are some of the beneficiaries, more so than current movies, of the 4K format. And I think this is one of those. Yeah, I would argue the audio is not like spectacular, but you can really only do so much with the source material. But the picture quality, I feel, is absolutely great for the movie of its age. That is the natural, like the slipcover. It's cool, great movie. If you're a baseball fan, it's absolutely a must-have. Robert Redford, such an amazing cast in this. Definitely check this one out. Also, I picked this up. This was one, I don't typically get these on release day because I always know they're going to go on sale. And it's not something I really review for the channel because they're lengthy. Like movies like Blue Planet and Planet Earth 2, you know, it's just too much to get in on a timely manner. But this is for pure enjoyment on my part, and I can't wait to check it out. And that is Dynasties. Target had it on sale for 15 bucks. I can't wait to check this one out. I haven't yet. But yeah, amazing. You know, I bet the picture quality is going to be amazing. So I can't wait to check that one out. Also, this one is still, I mentioned this in my review. I think it's going to be in my slipcover of the year award at the end of the year. And it's a fun movie. It is so much fun. I would absolutely be down for a second one. Minor problems with how they handle some of the classic Batman villains. Just minor, little bit of issue. But it doesn't really ruin my overall enjoyment. I think it's a fun movie overall. And that is Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the cool as hell slipcover. It's just, I love this. It's just got a nice little shine to it, a little embossing. It's awesome. I love it. Get slipcover on this one if you can. Also, I did separate reviews for all these, so I'm not going to go too much into it. And that is Toy Story, Toy Story 2, and Toy Story 3, all on the Steelbook. These were released in conjunction with the Toy Story 4, just popped into theaters a few weeks ago. You know, I have separate thoughts on everything Toy Story. Just look for those videos. But, you know, biggest question I get asked is it worth upgrading in 4K? I will say absolutely it is, and I can make arguments all day long for why it is. And I'll just say one. Like, I'll just go back to Toy Story, the original. Look, as dated as that looks, it really looks it's definitely the first Pixar movie feature length. And if you compare that to Toy Story 4, of course, it's not going to look the same. But what they were able to do with the HDR in Toy Story, there's the scenes when Buzz and Woody are, you know, at the Pizza Planet amusement park, or the restaurant, and they're standing outside, and you look at the sky, the night sky. That looks stunning to me. And just the HDR color pops look amazing. It is absolutely worth the upgrade. Don't hesitate. It's really awesome just to check these out in the 4K format. And of course I went Steelbook, so. And once again, another trilogy. Well, yeah, it's trilogy because I don't go to the fourth one. Batman, Batman Returns, and of course, Batman Forever in the 4K format. They all look amazing. They are definitely worth your time to pick up. The slipcovers kind of suck, but hey, apparently there is a collection coming out very, very shortly. So if you haven't gotten it by now, you might just want to wait. It's only about a month or so away. And you know, I believe there are also steelbooks in works for that as well. But you know, for purposes of reviewing it for the channel, I wanted to get them sooner rather than later. But they all look great, and they're all worthy of an upgrade. This one is, of course, a steelbook. Of course, it's a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, and honestly, I think it's a good effort, you know, as far as a first time, you know, character goes. And that is Captain Marvel. As you can see, I went for the Steelbook edition. I also have the 3D import on the way. It has not, probably in the next about 3 weeks or so, it should be arriving here. I enjoyed the movie. I did. Does it have its issues? Does it get like a touch on the messagey side? A little bit. But I still enjoy it. Overall, it's a Marvel Cinematic Universe film. Leads directly into Endgame, and of course, Endgame will be released in the next month or two. And it's worth the HDR itself is very, very good. I've heard complaints that some people think it's dark. I don't think it's dark. I think it has a very nice filmic look. I think if they would have went completely clean on it, it would have looked too CGI. And so I think, you know, the way it was filmed and the way it looks on 4K is appropriate. I enjoy it. Atmos track, believe it or not, it's decent for Disney, and we don't often say that, and especially since the releases they've done since then have been a bit subpar again. So I don't know what's going on over there, but if you're a fan of the film, absolutely check out Captain Marvel. I got the Steelbook. I think you can still get it in stores. So yeah, definitely check that one out. 13 Hours, Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Did a review for this one. Looks great. It's a fantastic war film, and it's just, it's good cast characters. And Michael Bay being less Bay. There's still Bay there, but it's less Bay. But it's a good movie. It's really, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, I absolutely recommend you do so. It looks good. You can get it for under 20 bucks, easy in the format. Definitely check out 13 Hours. Now these ones complete the Fast and Furious movie collection, and they're also my personal, both of them are my favorites. And that is Fast 4, Fast 5, well, Fast and Furious and Fast 5. But I love both these films, and they complete the collection. I actually just, as a fact, last night, finished all of the Fast and Furious films. I started out with, you know, of course, right from the beginning, and I wanted to get ready for Luke and Hobbs and Shaw. So yeah, I wanted to revisit all the movies, and I have to be honest, it still kind of sucks about Paul Walker. And for a while, I couldn't even watch the movies. I was actually, that surprised me. I'm like, I like Paul Walker, but just taking him, but he's such an integral part of these movies. I can't help but think that they're going to lose something going forward. I mean, 8 was okay, but it was just, I don't know, it's just felt, you could feel like his presence missing. So it's unfortunate. Also, another contender of my slipcover of the year award, because it's kind of nice little matte finish. It looks cool, and it's a fun movie. Spin-off of The Mummy, and that is a Scorpion King. I love this film. I really, really do. I don't know what, it's action, it's The Rock, and it's one of his first roles, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a fun movie overall. And I just really dig the look of the slipcover. Also, another one of my favorite movies from this year, while I feel 3/4 of this movie is just fantastic. Exposition at the end and just everything in the last 30 minutes of this movie just kind of fall apart. Not, I don't know, I go on about this in a couple videos, so look for those, but Jordan Peele's Us, got the Steelbook edition of that one. Love the movie. Yes, the ending I feel is a little weak, but I absolutely have to have this one. Of course, it's got the Steelbook, as you can see, really nice. Just Jordan Peele is a filmmaker. I cannot wait to see what he does next. I thought Get Out was amazing. Us was less, but it was still better than what we get a lot of times these days. Another new release is Dumbo. Just rewatched this one again recently. Here's a Steelbook edition of that one. Once again, a little bit on the soft side as far as audio goes, but it still sounds fine. You know, if you crank up your speakers, you should be good, but you don't get that oomph with Disney tracks, unfortunately. But yeah, now of course, nothing's going to match the original animated film, but you can still have a live action remake, but make it its own thing. And while they did that, it just felt like it didn't have any heart. I think that was the one thing missing. I think you could have kept the movie as is, but if you really would have nailed down that heart, you know, the baby mine sequence was just, it felt tacked on. That is the iconic scene in the animated film. This one, it felt like, oh, we have to put it in there, so we're just going to put it in there, and we're not going to really care about it. And it just, that frustrates me, because you could have kept the whole movie as is. But if you would have, like, just a little bit there, just, Alright, anyway, I can go on all day about that one. But I still got it because I enjoy the movie overall. Tim Burton is very good. There's a lot more Burton-esque kind of touches in there. Next up is the live-action Cinderella. It looks awesome on 4K. It really does. Beautiful. I mean, so much cool imagery. And it just, the HDR makes this thing pop. Like, bam. Looks great. Looks great. And the last movie I picked up was, it's been out for a while. And even though I'm not a huge fan of the second one, I'm probably going to really go back and look at it and just kind of try it again, because they are making a third one. And it was $15 for a Steelbook and a 4K duo. Bad Boys 1 and 2. This was a no-brainer. Every once in a while a sale will pop on, there's the back of the cover, that you're like, it's too good of a deal. And I felt this was too good of a deal. Now, I don't like getting movies that are double packs. I don't know, I always believe that they're making a third one, they're making a fourth one, it's just gonna look weird on the shelf. And guess what? They're probably gonna do that here too. But for $15, I have the movies. So I guess, Bad Boys 1 and 2, gonna revisit these very, very soon. So that is all I picked up in the month of June. Let me know in the comments below what you picked up and what you're looking forward to in July. And in the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.